Hi guys, so my good friend Jeff is back once again with another Brexit video. This time he's almost G-full, it seems, with the fact that the situation in Northern Ireland is extremely delicate, that there is a risk of a return to violence. But for him, this is all a joke, really, and it's something to be happy about. Basically, it's like someone who has set fire to their own home, and they're happy that the flames are jumping from their home to their neighbour's house. You have to remember that the people of Northern Ireland voted against Brexit. The people of the Republic of Ireland didn't even have a chance to vote on it. And the people of the European Union didn't vote for Brexit either. We didn't vote for it, but we're suffering the consequences because people like this guy wanted this. This guy is responsible for this, but he wants other people to suffer the consequences, because it's not enough that the people of Britain are suffering the consequences of Brexit. You know, their businesses are closing, young people are having a more difficult time traveling and moving to the European Union, and fishermen are struggling to sell their fish. That's not enough. Other people have to suffer the consequences too. And if we're suffering the consequences in the Republic of Ireland, then people like Jeff are extremely happy, it seems.
So what's this? If the UK doesn't put a full hard border in the Irish Sea, then some in the EU are saying they will have to put up a border between Robespierre and Cherbourg. Writing in the Irish news source RTE, Tony Connolly went through a whole complex set of events about how the EU is blaming the UK over the Irish border protocol and vice versa.
So what is this about? In order to protect the Good Friday Agreement, there mustn't be border checks between north and south of Ireland. On the island of Ireland, there must be as few as possible border checks. They must be eliminated if possible. So in order to protect the Good Friday Agreement, it means shifting the Republic of Ireland and the island of Ireland out of the single market and the customs union, in a sense. So the people of Ireland are going to be worse off because of a choice that people in another country voted for. Thanks very much, Brexiteers. You know, the European Union are trying to defend the Good Friday Agreement. They're also trying to defend the single market. Now, I know Brexiteers don't care about the Good Friday Agreement. I know they don't care about the single market. But it means a lot to the people who are within the single market. How would you like if the United States started doing something that affected the UK in a negative way? That people in the United States voted for something and you suffer the consequences of it. Would you be happy with that? The Brexiteers seem to be happy with that. As long as they're not suffering the consequences, but they are suffering the consequences. But they want somebody else to suffer too. Please tell me how that's not a cult mentality.
But my response to that is the EU is the one that triggered Article 16 without telling anyone.
Jeff, now stop telling lies. You know that the EU did not trigger Article 16. Boris Johnson did not trigger Article 16. He threatened to do it. The European Union talked about it. And then they received a call from the Dublin government and said, no, please don't do this. And they went, okay, we're not going to do it. But don't be telling lies. We all know that the Article 16 was not triggered. If it was triggered, we would have seen the consequences. But it was not triggered. Why are you telling lies?
And is also now, quite happily it seems, interfering in international vaccine contracts.
What he's doing here is, it's called muddying the water. So he's trying to say, look at how bad the EU is in something that's unrelated to what I'm going to talk about. And now this is in an attempt to reinforce the idea in your mind that the EU is bad. The EU didn't vote for Brexit. The people of the Republic of Ireland did not vote for Brexit. The people of Northern Ireland voted against Brexit. But we're suffering the consequences thanks to you. And this is somehow our fault. Please tell me why we should suffer the consequences of something that you voted for, even though you didn't know what you were voting for.
Anyway, it's the last part in the article that's really interesting.
Actually, I'm going to read the last part in the article. I'll leave a link in the description. So it says here, another diplomat acknowledges that mutterings are heard occasionally about checks having to be carried out on goods arriving from Ireland to the continent if the UK does not uphold the protocol. But at the moment, they are just that, mutterings. Member states are very serious about the internal market of the European Union, says the diplomat. And if there's a loophole in Northern Ireland, which is too big, then of course something might happen on the Irish crossing between Rosslare and Cherbourg. But that preempting a discussion, that is preempting a discussion which has not really been had. So at the moment, they're just talking about it. I hope that does not take place. I hope that the Republic of Ireland is not ripped out of the single market to protect the Good Friday Agreement. Why? Because we didn't vote for that. We didn't want this. You wanted this. You created this problem. Now we're suffering the consequences.
According to Connolly, one EU diplomat hinted that if they can't trust the UK to apply the protocol in the way they want, then it means the EU single market is affected, and another way must be found to protect it. And another EU diplomat said there had been talk about doing checks on some goods going from the Republic of Ireland into the European Union. Well, it is the EU single market after all. And Brussels takes no account of UK internal markets.
What are you talking about? What do you mean internal market, UK internal markets? This was the solution to protect the Good Friday Agreement. This was not the solution that the EU wanted. This is the solution that was available. To put a border on the island of Ireland, put a border in the Irish Sea, or have the UK as a whole part of the single market and the customs union. But you people didn't want that. You didn't want the latter. So what was the other option? To put a border in the Irish Sea, or to put a border on the island of Ireland? And your solution now is, well, we should put a border between the Republic of Ireland and we should rip the Republic of Ireland out of the single market. That's our solution. So the people of Ireland should be frigged over because of Brexiteers. Thanks very much for that. You know, we have done well being a member of the European Union. And you want to end that for something that you didn't even understand.
In fact, they are openly trying to destroy it. So it's fair that if they try to pull our markets apart, then we'll protect their market in the way we wish to.
What are you talking about? The EU are not trying to destroy anyone's market. You created this problem. This was not an issue a number of years ago, but you created this problem. Why should we suffer the consequences of a problem that you created? Would you be happy if the Americans had voted for something that damaged you? No, I don't think you'd be happy with that. Would you be happy if the Chinese voted for something, not the Chinese, the Japanese voted for something and you suffered the consequences of it? Would you be happy with that? Would you just say, well, that's the way things are?
And if they need to put a border up between Southern Ireland and the remaining 26 EU states, then that's their concern.
That's their concern, the arrogance here. Well, if they have to put it up, well, that's their problem. Yeah, we created the problem, but it's their problem to sort it out. As I've said before, Brexit is like a cult. We're not happy that we're suffering. We want others to suffer too. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
And the government of Southern Ireland will somehow have to sell that to their voters and the business community, all brought on by EU and Republican intransigence.
No, brought on because of Brexiteers and their Little England mentality, their hermit nation mentality, the two fingers to democracy and to diplomacy. This is what it's about. It's about punishing other people because of your mistakes. I know some of you want to, restart an empire revive the empire, and you want to bring maybe Ireland back within the sphere of influence of the UK again.
Anyway, one outcome could be that once the Eurocrats have started checking goods going from Southern Ireland into the European Union, we, in the United Kingdom, could invite the Republic to join the UK internal market.
Why would we do that? When I was saying smugness, I was saying that he was jumping with joy or glee. The fact that Ireland is getting frigged over. I have to mind my language because of something that the Brexiteers did. So this is the solution. We're sinking because of the disaster of Brexit. Come along and sink with us. That's the solution. Maybe next step could be Irish people would lose their citizenship and become British as subjects once again. Wouldn't that be great? We could repaint the letterboxes in Dublin and in other Irish cities from green to red again. We could start using the pound. Wouldn't that be a perfect solution? We could have the Queen or whoever comes after her as the new head of state. Go back to the way things were before. I thought Brexiteers were against or were pro-independence, no? They supported the idea of independent states.
So what do you think about a border within the EU single market? Please.
I think I've said what I think about it. It's a stupid idea. But it may actually be necessary to protect the Good Friday Agreement. It may be the extinguisher against the fire that Brexiteers have lit under the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. So once again, I have to say thanks to the Brexiteers for creating problems for us to fix. We didn't want these problems. We were against these problems, but we have to suffer the consequences. Thanks a lot, Thanks a lot, Jeff, and thanks a lot, Brexiteers. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?